Hello, everybody. Welcome to Galactic Wisdom. It's wonderful to be back. If you notice a difference in my room today, it's lighter. That is because over the winter period, it's so cold up here in the mountains that I have to block my window area completely with insulating foam boards in order to keep me from freezing. And it makes it nice and dark in here. But I've taken them out because it's starting to get sunny in California again, up in these mountains. And so now everything is visible. And I know some people have taken an interest in my shelving, what's going on behind me, all my old Star Wars toys there. They're probably a lot more visible now than they typically are in this light. And I'm actually starting to redo them. I'm moving some of them over to another shelf over there so I can make space for something else on there. But anyway, enough of the irrelevancies. Today we are going to I'm going to look at healing by different aliens. There are a number of different aliens that have given healing to me and to other people in the world, other people in my groups, other people who are not in my groups. And this healing has been going on. Now, I've actually uploaded a couple of short videos that I am going to play to you that I have put together on the subject of alien healing. And these videos contain a little bit of me talking, but a few different people who have experienced healing talking about their experiences. So I'm going to play one of these videos now, and then I'm going to talk about it. 2 or 3 times a week, I guide people through meditations, astral projections, and remote communications with aliens. This video documents the healing that 3 different species of non-human entities have performed on members of my group during and after those meditations.
During the meditation, I felt like I was enveloped, and then I was in and out a lot. But before this, I was hurting so bad. So bad. And I am not anymore. So I just want to say thank you. And again, love to everybody.
So during this healing meditation with Tuk Tuk, you went into it feeling pain, and you've come out of it without that pain.
Yes. Sorry, I'm not trying to cry, but yes.
The energy was so strong in my hands, and I've had some injuries to my left knee, and I've been out with a snow thrower all day long here in Ohio. My knee was hurting all through the meditation, and I just felt this strong energy, and I put my hands not touching my knee, but I put one hand on either side of my knee. And I'm going to tell you, my knee does not hurt right now. It just like I took a major dose of Tylenol or something. My knee just quit hurting. And at the same time, I felt like somebody touched the back of my right hand. Somebody's hand was on my hand.
Sounds like the Ebens gave you healing energy through your own hands. That is fantastic.
It's heartfelt right now. I mean, I've almost got a tear in my eye just thinking about it.
I have fibromyalgia, and I lived in constant pain. I mean, all the time pain. And sometimes it would be worse, but I always hurt. Now, I still do hurt, but not to the degree at all that I used to. So even when I get a flare up, it might last a week at the most. And it used to last months. And I was diagnosed with diabetes several years ago, and I tried medicine and it just made me sick. So I just quit doing all that. And so the last few blood tests have come up but I don't have it anymore. And I have not quit drinking Cokes. So it's not anything that I've changed.
So
And
not through changing what you're consuming, but through coming to our meetings, our contact sessions, our healing sessions, you feel like you've actually been cured of diabetes.
I really do, because I can't take the medicine. I did not quit drinking Cokes. So there's absolutely no reason that it should just be gone.
Wow.
But, I mean, and I've told everybody that too. I'm like, the aliens healed me.
Aliens healed me. Fantastic. So that's just one of two or three clips that I'm going to show today. And I'm going to go into more detail about the aliens that were giving healing to those people. First of all, the spiritual healing journey can really start for anybody at any time themselves. We have our biological bodies. We have our spiritual bodies. Typically, people will, if they're feeling ill, they will go to a physical doctor for physical healing to heal their physical bodies. Physical healing involves manipulation of our physical bodies. So that can involve consuming physical things like medication. It can involve just a healthy diet, a physical diet, drinking enough water, physical stuff. It can also involve going to a chiropractor and getting physical manipulation or physiotherapy, physical manipulation, exercise, for example. It can also involve surgery, getting into a body physically with knives, scalpels, and putting physical things in you, taking physical things out, manipulating things physically. Our healthcare system is, most healthcare systems around the world in developed countries tend to be physically based. And that is what the healthcare industry focuses on. But I know, and probably people watching this show know that there's more in this universe than just the three-dimensional physical realm. We also have ultra-dimensional or extra-dimensional realms, spaces, dimensions around us, where we have a presence also, which is non-physical. It is a spiritual presence or an ultra-dimensional presence. We have spiritual bodies, and we can heal our spirits. We can spiritually heal our spiritual bodies. If we think about who we are as a person, we've got our physical body, we've got our spiritual body. It's at least 50% of who we are as a person, as an individual, that is spiritual. In fact, because it's higher dimensional spaces that our spiritual bodies are in, and our spirits are higher dimensional forms, we're more spirit than we are physical. Our physical body is just like the seed that grows our spiritual body, and then it's just the anchor that keeps it in the spiritual realm until our biological bodies die, and then our spirits are free to spread out and travel more easily in ultra-dimensional realms. So we can, all of us can, heal ourselves to some extent spiritually. Now, I know some people just believe in anything's possible, you just have to want it or manifest it. We can perform miracles, and that's simply not true. Some stuff is real, some stuff isn't real. Some stuff is possible, some stuff isn't possible. With our physical bodies, we can physically heal some stuff. But there's some stuff we can't heal with our, in terms of our physical bodies. If we accidentally get decapitated, that's not something we can heal. We can't sew our heads back on and have everything be okay. But if we cut ourselves, then yeah, we can heal that. If we have a growth inside of us or something that isn't right inside of us, we can cut into ourselves and take that out. And sometimes, often, that will be okay. So it's the same with spiritual healing. Some things are possible. Some things are not possible. Some things are within our, as a species, our spiritual capabilities to heal spiritually, and some things are not within our capabilities to heal spiritually. So if you like the idea of starting on the journey towards learning how to take care of yourself spiritually and not just physically, well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it now. You can also join my group, my Patreon group, if you want to learn more about this stuff. But the way that spiritual healing works is to understand the relationship between our biological bodies and our spiritual bodies. We have, when we grow, we have our biological bodies form molecule by molecule as nutrients and molecules are coming in, water molecules, oxygen molecules, sugar molecules, glucose molecules, all the molecules that are coming in together to form our bodies. When they're coming in and growing, they have attached to them, those individual molecules already have a spiritual component. It's not just living things that have spiritual components, ultra-dimensional components, just like it's not just living things that have protons and electrons. It's all matter. And when the molecules of our bodies are growing, are coming together and forming, the spiritual elements of those molecules, the ultra-dimensional elements of those molecules are also coming together and forming our spirit. Our spirits grow naturally with our biological bodies as our biological bodies grow. That makes our spirits unique to us. Our spirits are unique to our biological bodies. And not just humans, but all the different animals that are out there. Even my mug here, because of the molecules that have been added to it, have spiritual components. And if you could see this into the ultra-dimensional realms, this mug would have a spiritual component, looking mug-like, but ultra-dimensional. It's not conscious, it's not alive, but it has spiritual components, as does the hot chocolate that's inside. And I'm going to take a sip, excuse me. But our bodies have this intricate relationship with our spiritual bodies. They're interwoven so intricately, and there's an attractive force between them which keeps the spiritual components connected to the biological or physical components. And knowing these facts allows us to heal ourselves spiritually. Because what we can do, well, we know that if we heal ourselves physically, then the spiritual components around us, they will be attracted to that healing, and we can heal ourselves spiritually. But we can do the other way around. We can heal ourselves spiritually in order to then also heal ourselves biologically. If this is your spirit and this is your biological body, and there's something wrong, there's like a break or it's malformed in some way, then we can pull our biological bodies back to pull our spirits back into place, and that will happen because of the attractive force between the two. Or if there's something not right, we can heal our spirit, and that the attractive force will pull the biological components of our bodies back into place. So how do we heal our biological bodies? How do we heal our spiritual bodies? Well, in the same way that we have the ability to manipulate, like I can take hold of a finger and move it physically, I can manipulate my body physically, we can manipulate our spirits spiritually. We can will our physical bodies to move by thinking them to do so, and we can will our spiritual bodies to move also. That is how we can astrally project. We will our conscious minds to move to somewhere else. And when we spiritually heal, there's a few different techniques that we can use. We can draw in the spiritual stuff, atmosphere that's around us in ultra-dimensional space, just like we can breathe in oxygen into our physical bodies. We can breathe in this spiritual karitha into us. We can fill ourselves with it, saturate ourselves with it. That gives us all of the nutrients that we need, all of the energy we need to heal. And we can brighten that so brightly that it can literally burn away any viruses, bacteria, fungi, invasive particles within us. We can zoom in to the spiritual components of cancer cells, and we can burst the cancer cells from the inside out. We can break them apart spiritually with the power of our mind, and the cancers can break apart and disperse and separate out spiritually. And then the biological components are attracted to that breaking apart of the spiritual components, and so the biological components break down also, and then we can stimulate new healing from the healthy cells around that. We can do all this with the power of our mind spiritually. We have flows of energy through our bodies. That's something that is very commonly understood in paranormal circles. And we can take hold of those energy flows, like flows through the chakra points and chi moving through us, things like that. But we have lots of flows associated with the spiritual energy that's within us, and we can manipulate that at will. And we can therefore move through our bodies, and we can harmonize those energy flows. We can push through restrictions or blockages in our energy flows, so we can sort of harmonize our spiritual currents within us. Let's see, we can spiritually take hold of ourselves on the inside and twist and turn and manipulate. So if you have like a twisted spine, for example, you can spiritually take hold of that and twist it and turn it. There's a range of different self-healing things that we can do spiritually on our bodies, and we can do those things when we meditate. We relax our bodies, we tune into our spiritual bodies, and then we just go through the process of doing that healing. This is something that I teach. This is something I've done on these shows in the past before. You can join me if you want to. There's a free video out there somewhere that I guide people through a spiritual healing meditation. So these are all possibilities. Now, we are not nearly as advanced as alien beings. In pretty much any way, we're not as advanced. They have knowledge of spirits, ultra-dimensional realms that we don't have. They have ultra-dimensional technologies. They have trans-dimensional travel capabilities. They can do that actually just naturally, spiritually, just blend backwards and forwards into our three-dimensional space and back out. They can also use craft, get inside the craft, and the craft can travel between dimensions. So they have abilities that we don't. And if they choose to, they can come to a human or an animal, and they can manipulate the spiritual matter within us to heal us. So a few years ago, this is probably 4 or 5 years ago now, I'm not very good at keeping track of time, but about 5 years ago, I led a online meditation with a group of people in a Zoom meeting. And our goal was to reach out to try to connect with any healing beings that are out there in the universe. And so that's what we did. We reached out astrally, and we scanned. We let our spirits scan around the universe a little bit, trying to find beings that could be called healing beings, beings that are out there that like to heal people. And we were very pleasantly surprised when our sort of call out there into the universe to try to connect with healing beings was answered. We got a response. And within the meditation, people started visualizing and seeing a being coming in and showing itself. And people started seeing that this being had babies around it, was holding babies, had children, had babies around them. And when we asked, "What is your name?" there were about 5 different people who all heard the same name for this being. And the name was 2 syllables, starting with T with some K sounds in there. And people heard it was not human language. And so it was a little bit hard to latch on to exactly what the word was. But our best approximation of it has become Tuk Tuk. Tuk Tuk is the name of this being. And Tuk Tuk was confirmed to be real when we had so many people all seeing the same being, hearing the same messages. And Tuk Tuk proceeded to give people healing in the meeting. And this was an astonishing thing. At that point, I suddenly realized we've just logically proved the existence of advanced non-human entities in the universe. It may not be scientifically proved, but it's logically proved. And so we started communicating week after week with this being. And week after week, this being would come to us and assist us with our healing. And people were experiencing healing from this being. And we got to know this being better and better and better. And now I consider Tuk Tuk to be a good friend. And many people in my groups consider Tuk Tuk to be their friend, like a second mother. She's very, very maternal. When we're in her presence, we feel the love, we feel the maternal sort of energy coming through her. And she initially presented herself to us in the form of a female alien, typical sort of alien with almond eyes, large head, and beautiful clothing. And the more we got to know her, the more we realized she doesn't live locally. We're traveling a long distance to get to her, and she travels a long distance to get to us. And the idea of her being humanoid doesn't make much sense. So we deliberately astrally projected to her one time, and we asked her, we said, we're okay with your appearance, whatever your appearance is. Like, we're not going to be scared if you've got teeth and, big fangs and you're monster-like looking. Whatever you look like, it doesn't matter. We kind of want to know the truth. What do you really look like? And then we all started seeing something non-humanoid, and we were all seeing the same thing. And the non-humanoid thing that we were seeing, actually, I might have an image of it here. I've got a couple of images of it here. We started seeing this kind of shape here. This is what Tuk Tuk looks like. And there are smaller Tuk Tuk children around her, and there are Tuk Tuk babies within her. This upside down teardrop shape. And this is somebody else's image of Tuk Tuk, a little bit different in shape, but that you got the big Tuk Tuk and you got the smaller ones around her. This is what I saw and drew at the time. This is us astrally projecting to her planet. We see Tuk Tuk, the inverted teardrop shape in the middle, and you can see our astral bodies around her. And there's an image that I drew artistically in the middle of her to represent how she initially appeared to us. But this is how we learned Tuk Tuk really looks. Had we seen that image, had we seen this when we were looking for beings out there in the universe, we probably wouldn't have recognized that as anything more than a colorful shape. We probably wouldn't have realized that was a conscious entity. And so Tuk Tuk showed us an image, a humanoid image, an image that we would recognize as being a life form. That's how we made contact. But we started going to her planet. She lives in an ocean. You probably can't tell, but it's a double layer ocean. She herself is within an ocean layer that is about a couple of 100 meters or yards deep. And then beneath her, there's a deeper, darker layer of ocean. I haven't drawn it very well in this picture. There's two immiscible liquids sit on top of each other, like how oil floats on water. There are two oceans on her planet. And we astrally project there. It's about 2 or 3 times a month. Maybe about once a week I go there for various different reasons. And we get healing from her. Now, some people, when they're going to go and see her, and they ask, well, what does she require in payment? Like, why is she healing us? And the answer is she doesn't require payment. She likes healing people because she likes healing people. If you had healing abilities, if you could perform healing on somebody just by touching your hand to them and they miraculously or however you can heal people of their injuries, wouldn't you do that? Wouldn't you do it to help people? And if you could afford to do it for free, wouldn't you do it for free? Well, she can afford to do it for free. Tuk Tuk can afford to do it for free, and she just likes helping people. I have had so many animals that I've come across in my lifetime who have been injured or who have needed help, and I've helped them just because I like helping others. I'm an empathic person. Tuk Tuk is very empathic. So early on, when I went to her with quite a big group one time, I said, Tuk Tuk, I don't want to impose upon you, but I've brought quite a big group with me. Is it okay? Do you have the ability? Do you have the time? Do you have the will, the desire to help a big group of people? And she turned to the other Tuk Tuk beings around her and basically said, this is what you've been trained for. Let's get to work. That's what they do. And so alien healing is something that you can have if you want it. I am going to play another video now of somebody else talking about a healing experience that they had with me a month or 2 ago, following on from one of my healing sessions. Actually, it wasn't during a healing session. During one of the sort of the reaching out to alien sessions that I hosted online, this lady attended, and we were actually just going to the moon, but a being showed itself to her and then came back to her later that night and did some healing on her. So this is another testimony from somebody.
Before the meditation ended, you said, if you feel comfortable, and if you feel okay with it, and if you feel safe, you can invite these beings to visit you in your home. And I was like, yes, I feel comfortable. I feel safe. I felt it was a very good, positive connection. So I was like, absolutely, you're welcome to come visit me if you want to. I went to sleep. I was awoken for sure from I think was a pretty deep sleep. And I felt like this energy, strong energy that I haven't ever felt before. Definitely alien energy. And I'll just say mantis being, because I don't know if it was one or more, but the mantis being was like, we're here. You said we'd be welcome if you want a healing. And are you open to that? Like she asked me first. And I was like, oh yes. I mean, I was a little like, what the heck is going on? Like, holy cow, this is so bizarre, but I'm feeling like this is real. And the dog starts barking. And I'm like, his name is Atari. And I'm like, Atari, it's okay. It's okay. So he calms down. And then I don't know how long it lasted. It felt like quite a long time. This healing experience, part of what was said and what I remember is a special multi-level healing occurred, and I just but it was also a dialogue like the whole time. Like she would say, you know, are you okay with this? And I would say yes, and I kept saying thank you, and she would just instantly say you're welcome, thank you, you're welcome. Like that was part of it.
After you'd gone through having the healing from the mantis being, do you feel healing was achieved in some way?
Yes, yes. The healing was very much involving session 1 and session 2, very much involving my lungs. The message I received essentially was with all the coughing out stuff that they were helping expel stuff from my lower, like the base of my lungs that had been present since my birth. So I felt my lungs so clear, but feeling a thing and the reality of a thing are two different things, right? So anyway, I haven't exercised at all in the past 3 weeks. So anyway, I was walking very, very quickly, and I was totally not out of breath. Everything was just like easy. And that's in that moment I realized, oh wow, my lungs really are cleared out. This to me, that was like a little bit of empirical evidence. Is that the right word? I think it is. That a healing of my lungs had really definitely occurred.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
If you feel like you experienced some kind of unusual energy, whether it was a presence or a healing going through you during that session, do you want to give me a thumbs up? Wow, that's most people I see. That's awesome. Okay, so there's another example of healing going on, and that in that situation, that was a mantis being. There are lots of different beings out there that will give humans healing if they feel like there's a good idea, a good purpose behind the healing. I do, before I carry on, just want to say thank you, Laura, for being here, and thank you, Genghis Khan, also for being here, for watching. That's very much appreciated. Laura has certainly been in the sessions where she's experienced healing beings. Beings that we have experienced giving us healing include Tuk Tuk, the one that I've just talked about in quite a lot of detail, mantis beings, the one you just heard about, Ebons, which is a being that I've talked about before. They haven't given us a lot of healing in the past, but they have given us some healing. In the first video clip that I played, we were reaching out to Ebons, and while we were reaching out to Ebons, one of the members of our group received healing in his knee. I know that guy well. He's been to some of my tour events, a lot of my online events, and he received healing in his knee. People who have gone into my healing sessions feeling terrible pain and come out of my healing sessions, both spiritual healing sessions, and also regular alien contact sessions and dedicated alien healing sessions, feeling no pain at all. I know of at least 2 or 3 people whose pain and suffering was so bad in the past. Oh my goodness, I've got a woodpecker banging on my wall over there. I'll hope it doesn't disturb us too much, but if it does, I'll go and yell and scream and bang on the wall a little bit. But yeah, we've had this healing from different beings, from Ebens. And the Eben, I'll tell you a little bit about Ebens. Ebens stands for extraterrestrial biological entity. And we've had, this last year, we had 2 really big confirmations of Ebens coming to our events. We had Laura in one of our meetings. She had Ebens come to her and show her images of a future reality that they want us to try and avoid: climate change, global warming, all of that stuff. And so we made connection with an Eben through her, and that Eben identified himself as Jean-Luc. And when we asked why are you called Jean-Luc, did you pick that name yourself? He was like, yeah, he picked that name himself because he likes Star Trek. He likes the character of Jean-Luc Picard. That was interesting. Okay. And Ebens have done some healing on some people in my sessions. We also, when I was in, where was it? It was Blue Springs, Missouri, doing an in-person contact event. I brought along some of my medium friends, professional medium friends, to an in-person contact event, and they saw and felt a alien craft land quite close to us behind some trees. They saw and they felt 5 small beings get out and walk towards us. Now, this was the first time they'd done this. They were used to communicating with the spirits of humans. That's what they do professionally, but they'd never reached out to aliens. So this was a new experience to them, and they didn't know who the aliens were, what they are. But we asked them questions and figured out that these were Ebens. And the Eben that stepped forwards and was doing most of the talking was a female Eben called, well, what we got at that time was D. That's what we were hearing. We met the next day, and that extended into Deanna. And when we got some of these mediums together, and we got Laura together, and we got Jean-Luc, and we got Deanna together, and we asked Deanna how she got her name, it was sort of a funny moment where she turned to Jean-Luc, and they sort of like, they relayed to us that she got her name. Her name was connected to Jean-Luc's name. And it turned out that Jean-Luc had given Deanna that name recently. She had only recently started communicating with human beings and needed a Earth name, a human name. And Jean-Luc had named her Deanna because he likes Star Trek. And there was this sudden moment of realization that we'd just received a confirmation of the reality of this situation, because you got Captain Jean-Luc Picard on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise D, which Bill has an excellent model of, Bill, our producer, and which he made himself. Very, very impressive. And we also have Counselor Deanna Troy, who was also a bridge officer, an empath, an empathic. I felt like somebody just walked past me then. That's cool. We have an empath on the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. So that's cool. Ebens have done healing. We've also had, which surprises some people, but we've had healing from reptilians. When we go to the Galactic Council, we had a being called Shusha, a reptilian being called Shusha, come to us and use some kind of technological device to perform healing on us. She was doing something on me. And when I talk about healing, it's healing, but it can also be enhancement, making us a little bit stronger spiritually, a little bit more than what we are, a little bit more psychic, opening up some of our potential. So it's sort of healing and enhancement. And both and a lot of these beings will ask us for permission first before they do this. And so we know reptilians, Shusha and her twin sister Tushasha. And also when I hosted an event in Shawnee, Kansas, a couple of years ago, and I'm going back there in just 2 or 3 weeks, I think it is. In Shawnee, Kansas, we had another professional energy healer attend an event. She'd had a day full of healing people of dark energies, and she had taken on a bit of dark energy from within her. Within her, she was feeling really terrible at the start of the session, start of the contact event, and a big male reptilian called Icod came to her and gave her some healing. And these are beings now that get to know the people in my groups, and they start liking people and they start helping them and healing them. We also go for healing with Arcturians. And I can ask the question, why is this healing going on? And I told you a little bit a few minutes ago. It's because they like helping people. They're empathic, but they could go around healing anybody in the universe. Why is it that they go around healing specific people? How do they choose who to heal in their spare time? Well, we know that we as a group, that me and what I'm doing is being supported by a plethora of different beings, lots of beings, even those that don't give us specific healing. People see the same beings around me a lot. There's a trio. There's a Ebon, a reptilian, and a tall white who associate themselves with me, who are often seen around me. There are the tall silver beings that people see like towering over the top of me, and a whole range of different other beings we've got supporting us. And I'm going to answer the question, why are they supporting us? And then I'm going to show you one more video clip to support this idea. You know what? I'm going to play the video clip now. This video clip has 2 or 3 people talking about alien beings coming to them and then telling them to tell me. Aliens are appearing to people, giving them downloads, giving them advice, giving them healing, and then telling them to tell me.
And in came this Arcturian, and she said her name was Sashki. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, with this bright star on her head, with sort of a headband coming off it. And I just accepted that was an Arcturian. And she started giving me downloads and initiations and codes, and more than my brain could understand what was going on. I just knew that was what was happening. But since then, Sasky said, tell Rupert. Because I was like, well, what do I do with this information? I don't know what to do with tell Rupert. It was very clear.
I actually heard something say, turn off the TV and meditate. And so I did. I came in and I meditated. And I saw an ant-like being, a face kind of poke in. And it basically, in a nutshell, said, tell Rupert he's right. Peace is of utmost importance, because how can you have unconditional love if you don't have inner peace?
I was woken up by this intense energy, and I'll just say mantis being, because I don't know if it was one or more, but the mantis being. Anyway, one of the messages I definitely got was heal the earth, save the earth, heal the earth, save the earth. And I said, I want to. Yes, I want to. I don't know how. And then she said, we'll help you. We'll help you. And I also got the message. It sounds so robotic and like whatever. I'm not gonna put any judgments on it. I'm just gonna report what I remember. Report key elements to Rupert. So I reported the key elements to you.
Aliens are guiding good people to me so that they can join our interspecies, interstellar, interdimensional coalition of light. Aliens are telling people to tell me about their experiences so that I can tell you. Aliens want you to know that they support what I am doing. And what I am doing is promoting the idea of universal peace, universal love, and universal well-being. Right, so there's more evidence of beings who are out there supporting what I'm doing. What I am doing is spreading a message. And I'm not just spreading the message, I am helping people to integrate the meaning of the message into their everyday lives. The message is, be peaceful with each other, be peaceful to everybody, universal peace. The message is, love unconditionally, love everyone, not just the people you like, love everyone, and promote the well-being of everyone. Increase the well-being of everyone, do no harm. So it's a very, very simple message. At least it sounds simple. It's simple to say. It sounds right. It's something that people can get behind or something that people can get behind. Universal peace, universal love, universal well-being. And a lot of people are really drawn to this message. It's a message of purity, of light. But a lot of people, I would say most people, have difficulty living their lives according to it. The way, it's been observed many times by many intelligent people in the past, philosophers, that it's easy to be a moral person when your life is fairly comfortable. But when your life is not comfortable, when we're confronted with people who are doing things that we don't like, it's hard to be moral. Humans have the idea, if I could summarize this in a very, very simplistic way, it's right to be good to others if they deserve it. It's right to be bad to others if they deserve it. That's what humans are. We have this switch where an action of being good is considered to be a wonderful, wonderful thing that everybody should do if we're confronted with people that we like, that share our beliefs, that share our ways, that are behaving in ways that we find acceptable. But if we're confronted with people with different beliefs, with different ways, with ways of behaving that we don't find acceptable, it becomes right for humans, for most humans, they feel that it's right to be bad to those people. And in those situations, they feel that it's justified, that it's not, they don't consider it being bad. They consider it to be right. We should do this because we don't like those people. And that's humanity. Aliens have evolved to a higher level. And I will explain this in a very simplistic way. Aliens feel like, at least most of the ones we communicate with, it is right to be good to everyone. That's it. Unconditionally. Unconditionally. Everyone. If they see people over there doing something they like, they will be good to them. If they see people over there doing things that they don't like, they will be good to them, or they will just sort of leave them alone. That's the difference between humans and aliens. That's one of the big things that humans need to get on top of. So if I could summarize why alien beings are supporting what I'm doing, is I'm trying to teach people to be better than human. I'm trying to teach people to be more alien. I'm trying to teach people to be good to people unconditionally, to love people unconditionally all the time. If everybody on the planet could do that, we would end wars immediately. We would end secondary conflicts immediately. You're always going to have misunderstandings and disagreements, which presently lead to secondary conflicts. But if we could just take a step back and try and deal with the primary offense, the things that people are doing wrong in a loving way, in a good way, that would be very constructive. So I only have about a minute and a half left, so I'm going to jump forwards a little bit. You can get healing from aliens if you ask for it, and if they think that helping you is going to help others, is going to help spread this message. They've only got a certain amount of time, and they're not going to harm you if you're doing things that they don't like. But if you're doing things that they don't like, they might not focus much attention on you to help you. If you learn the messages that I'm trying to teach in this Galactic Wisdom show, be kind to everybody, be good to everybody. And there's other messages as well. Transition from beliefs to knowledge. Intellectually learn about morality, learn about the universe so that you can be a moral person. If you can learn those things, then you can make friends with aliens and you can get alien healing. Just to finish off, here's my contact tour information. My email address is on there. If you want details of any of my in-person events that are coming up in the next couple of months, just send me a message. Or join the Patreon group there, the Galactic Wisdom Patreon group. And then you can get all of the information from that website. I'm very grateful to all of you for tuning in and listening to me talking. I wish you peace, love, and well-being. Take care and goodbye for now.